Hello, welcome to another edition of the Fairway Roundtable show presented by Ralphies. Thanks for being here. We changed the lineup up just a little bit again. Steve Taylor back.
Man, glad to have you.
ESPN 106.5.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for being here. Good to see you.
Ought to be fun.
Yeah. Along with our resident antagonist, Marty Ben.
So I already lost half a bet. Well, I already lost
I didn't know about this other half of the bet.
There were multiple bets. So apparently, and I forgot this until my phone started blowing up late in the middle of that unwatchable Broncos game that I sort of watched.
Oh, the one that Cleveland won, 17-16?
So anyhow, apparently the over-under at the beginning of the year was 5.5 for Vegas, so you had to pick one side of it. So I had started, so not my 7-win problem that's looming large because the Bengals are coming to town and they're is awful fair. They're unwatchably awful.
Hugh Jackson.
But by the way, when we were texting Sunday, I really do think NFL hell is when you turn on your TV and the Cowboys-Colts game is on and you realize instead you have who the Bengals play?
Oakland.
Oh, yeah, Bengals-Raiders, and then you had Lions.
Bills.
Yeah, those were your choices while there were playoff teams playing for games that actually mattered. I would like to thank the NFL gods.
So anyway, back to the bet.
So I had said I would put some Brown stuff on, and luckily none of you brought anything over to my house this week, although the 5 or 6 of you that did, that would fit because they're all like 3Xs and 4Xs, so I'm not swimming. But I do have the hat and shirt here, and
It looks good on you.
It does not. I look terrible in orange.
You look great.
Terrible in orange. But there it is.
It's new, though. The hat's new.
I went and got something that would fit because, you know.
Oh, you had to buy it.
Well, I don't not pay a bet, but I will not wear something that's so big.
Just to be clear.
And the dog one smelled like.
You still haven't told me what happens if the Browns win a 7th game.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
No. We'll cover that when and if it happens.
So just to be clear, you didn't think the Browns would win how many games this year?
I thought they would win less than the 5.5 of Vegas.
Aha.
And I would like to not thank the Bengals for stinking bad enough to make that happen. Because but for the Bengals, I'd still be safe.
Oh, they're going over.
Hugh Jackson's getting just killed on Twitter. This is kind of funny.
Yeah.
They've won more games, man. They're 4-2.
I know, but if you watch, it's still. It's
oh, by the way, did you see who made the final play, defensive play in that game?
Yeah.
Against Denver? Peppers. The people that were going, I don't know where they play them in the NFL. Who cares? Get them on the field.
The interception that he jumped that high to get, he utilized his ups to get that one.
They get caught up in that stuff. It's too high, or he's too tall, or too short, or too slow, or whatever.
He makes plays.
Same stuff they said about guys like Chris Spielman.
The Honey Badger.
Yeah. Just forget about that stuff.
Makes plays.
Guy can play. Yeah, exactly. I always said that all the time. There's 2 types of players in the NFL. Guys who makes plays and guys who don't. He's one that does.
Get a bunch of guys that make plays on a squad playing together, and you have a great team.
Yep. It was a good game. A little better than that one in Indianapolis.
I saw that game, by the way. So you might not have wanted to see that.
Well, in retrospect, I should have shut my mouth and gone and mowed the grass or something.
No,
I should have just abstained from NFL
I believe
football.
they scored 0. Dallas did.
So remember, but you are the one that, as the little mini win streak came, and I said still circling the drain. Any question you have
place in the division
by default.
And I would like to clarify the nightmare scenario that, as a Cowboy fan, against this Browns backdrop, is about to happen in my life. If the Cowboys tomorrow lose against the Buccaneers, then they have to go on the road to East Rutherford for Eli's last game as a Giant. It reminds me of the Earl Bruce, right, end of the like something to play for. They will end up dropping that game to the Giants. They'll lose the last 2 and lose the division because the Eagles and Redskins play, and the winner of that one probably would win it if the Cowboys lose out. And the Browns winning the bet would be my nightmare scenario. I would thank the NFL gods for making this possible this late in the year. And the worst part is, even if they don't do that, they still lose the first-round playoff game, which I told you has happened for as long as I can remember because they're not a good team. They're not a complete team yet. Okay, I'm done.
Quarterback. One question. Just say it. And we've seen time and time again what Dak does. Maybe I should say what Dak doesn't do. He holds on to the ball way too much. And have you ever thought about crawling up in the pocket maybe to make a pass?
You know, you would think with having a star receiver like Amari Cooper that they'd be scoring points all over the place.
Look, my father and I used to argue when Aikman was the quarterback, and he would get mad because about 2.5 seconds into a play with nobody open, he would throw it to a cheerleader on the sideline. And my dad would be so mad and say, what is he doing? He wasn't even under pressure. And I'd say he realized there was nothing there, and everything that was about to happen was bad. And I understand there are guys that can extend plays and guys that can't. But like you said, Dak needs to learn sometimes the smartest thing you do, especially with that kind of defense, is chuck it to a cheerleader and punt. Because that's less bad than a lot of the alternatives.
Steelers got a huge win at home against New England, one they had to have.
Oh, they did.
Boy, New England looked human, didn't they?
Because they got to play New Orleans tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, but if you look at the recipe for success for Pittsburgh, they got back to what they've been doing, running the football. You know, they got some guy named Samuels off the bench, but you hunker down and you run the football, and then you give Ben his options on the outside, and I like those options. You got to like Juju Smith-Schuster, and AB is AB, but it all starts and stops with running the football, you know. And,
Well, they held New England to 10 points.
well, that helps.
Well, I think Mike Tomlin deciding to get actively involved in the defensive scheme for the week, as he said he would, change things dramatically. If you're a Steeler fan and you don't realize the difference it made, because the mismatches weren't there, the blown coverage.
They weren't there.
They had one blown coverage in the first half, got it fixed, and because the Steeler games I've watched this year, their secondary has been a train wreck.
Exactly.
And it was not, but for a play or two.
But what he did was he simplified the offense, but the defense, but at the same time he out-patrioted the Patriots. And what I mean by that is he's like, I'm going to take your two best players away, and you beat me with these other guys, and I'll take my chances with that.
Well, they're good enough to. They can't really beat Oakland, but they can beat New England. So.
I hope you just wrap yourself in that for your Christmas blanket.
That's fine. I already got my Christmas present. Nick Foles. And a win against the Rams.
I would like to thank you for melting my phone
I believe
down.
on the show last week, I said maybe it's time that they turn to Nick Foles. I believe that was said here by somebody.
Again, you cling to that. What I'm saying is when you put in a totally different.
What do you mean I cling to that?
Well, okay, so at one point in time, he throws off his back foot as he's about to get murdered because the safeties have to come up in the box because of the run-pass option threat. And he just throws it up for grabs, and it ends up working out. And I'm saying in a great game in the playoffs and whatever else, no.
You're right, because he could never take a team to the Super Bowl.
Let alone win it.
Yeah. Never happened.
Lightning does not strike twice.
But you know what, Marty?
Really?
Does not.
Marty,
Eli Manning won too.
with Nick
All right, I'll just
Foles,
be quiet. I'm going to be quiet the rest of the show because I don't even know what
Nick
to say.
Foles and the Eagles, again, they got back to what was successful. He's not trying to force the ball to Ertz. He's passing the ball around. Now, all of a sudden, the wide receivers are sprinting out, running patterns because they may just get the football.
All right. We can pick up right here. We got to take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk more NFL. Don't go anywhere. It's the Front Row Roundtable show presented by Ralphies.
Bring yourself to Ralphies. Yeah, it's that good.
At Ralphie's, it's primetime football every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights. Enjoy endless wings starting at 8 p.m. each night and carry-out specials every day. Plus special pricing on all Labatt products, plus new craft and IPAs for the fall. As always, beer buckets only $10 Friday and Saturday.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
Mortgage Marty here. We hear every day here at Fairway how tight the housing market is, how there's just so few great homes out there. And I want to remind everybody we have a fantastic suite of renovation products. They are basically designed where you can buy a house, borrow extra money over and above the sale price, get contractors lined up, and we pay them after closing. So the work is done after closing. You get to pick who you're going to use, and you can buy that house, fix it up, and create what you want. With as tight as the market is right now, in fact, I have probably a half a dozen customers who are to the point where they're so frustrated they're about to give up. So just think renovation loan.
It's December Decadence as Powerbomb Wrestling is back in action in Toledo on a special Friday event this coming Friday, December the 28th at 7 p.m. at St. Clement's Hall, 2990 Tremainsville. See Unchained Brandon Day, also the Enforcer Andy Shane, Sexy Sean Casey, the Circus of Pain, Malice, and more, all in action. Get your advanced discount tickets at the live event for our next show, which comes up on Sunday, February the 10th. But it's the best wrestlers in the Midwest this Friday night in Toledo at St. Clement's Hall. All right, welcome back for our Roundtable show presented by Ralphies. And you're always running around for the last minute Christmas gifts. Gift certificates from Ralphies. $25 gift certificates, they throw another $5 on top of it. Good deal.
Great stocking stuffers.
Great last minute, or for those of you who are starting your Christmas shopping.
Well, you can go get a gift certificate,
Right.
maybe have a cocktail, and then decide whether you want to just buy more gift
By
certificates.
the way, can we see the shirt?
No.
Why not?
No. No.
Show us the shirt.
No.
Why?
I have the hat.
Yeah, you have the hat. Let's see the shirt.
Well, they didn't have any brown shirts on the clearance rack today when I went to go shopping. All they had were Lion shirts and
shirt.
Tiger shirts.
It's on the shirt. And it's nothing. So what are we doing? What are we doing with this too? So
All right, well, throw it. Hey, you can get rid of the whole thing. I'm
There.
fine with it.
Just.
There we
done.
go.
All right.
All right. The table's been cleared.
All right, let's get back.
That has about as much chance of success as Nick Foles winning another Super Bowl. Since you said we pick back up.
Well, we'll see how they do against Houston tomorrow. Because if they beat the Rams and they beat Houston back to back,
It's
I
like
think
the
you need to
battle of the
reconsider that.
RPOs, right? It's like two RPO quarterbacks trying to make linebackers
RPO.
run pass option.
Okay.
Which is why when you bring that in, it's why Blake Bortles gave the Patriots fits for a while in that playoff game last year. And then, oh, by the way, it doesn't even have a starting job. Because once you figure out the tendencies and figure out what the team's doing, it's hard with that offense to make it sustainable.
Some quarterbacks win. Some just win.
Nick, look,
Sometimes the players
can't
around them
poo-poo
play better.
Nick Foles, you can't.
Don't tell me that's not the case.
The options were open for
He
Philly.
caught lightning in a bottle last year.
So he caught lightning in a bottle on Sunday night against the Rams?
The Rams have been struggling. And by the way,
11-3 is struggling?
See, Marty thinks like nobody can win the Super Bowl.
No. The Rams' biggest problem is their quarterback, who will turn the ball over when he's pressured and will make bad decisions too. And it's the same problem I think Kansas City has. So if you want my playoff predictions, let's just go with the Breeze. Brady, but he looked morally the other day.
The same Breeze that delivered that beauty last year against Minnesota.
Alex Smith is an experienced quarterback. He didn't win nothing in the playoffs.
Well,
Kirk Cousins doesn't win anything.
Those don't count. I'm talking
Cousins
playoff.
might be closer to Jeff George than anybody else.
I'm talking playoff proven quarterbacks. There are only a couple.
Well, there's only two of them in there, really 2 or 3.
Well, then why didn't they win the Super Bowl last year?
Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, well,
Defense wins championship. I mean, what cliche do you want?
can't happen twice, Eli Manning.
It's not going to happen. Oh, and that
They were
wasn't
playing for their
back-to-back
playoff life.
years. Stick a ball to the back of my head, and never mind.
They're playing for their playoff lives right now, and you have to look at taking into consideration this time of year. This team's got it locked up. The
I
Texans.
don't think anybody looks invincible.
No.
It's the NFL. They're not invincible.
And what does that stand for?
Not for long.
Fine.
Of course, there's a few other things it stands for, too, that we probably can't share. We know the Lions aren't going to be in after a rousing 14-13 loss at Buffalo.
So as wrong as I've been all year on the Browns, I would like to thank all of you Lions fans for finally capitulating, because last week I actually did get some Lions fans who would text me that Matt Stafford's name is Matt Statfiller.
Can they get it through their heads that it's not the coach? Seriously.
It's a lot higher than that.
I'm sorry, man.
And I believe I ranted on giving Stafford all that money.
They're
They're 5-9.
Look, people, you should pay it. When Norm and I agree on something, you should mark it down because it's probably
It's
meaningful.
my Nick Castellanos argument. It's the same one.
But
Correct.
you were 9-7. You at least were putting in winning seasons. And now you trade that in for 5-9. Matt Patricia. See, what they want to be is the New England Patriots. That's what they want to be.
Yeah, but they fired the special teams coach, and I thought for sure that would turn it around.
But they've been riding the Wayne Fonts best schedule, worst schedule wave for a decade and a half. Because the year they play the crappy schedule, they sneak into the playoffs and then get beat. And the year they play the tough schedule, they don't make the playoffs and they finish like this. That's been happening for over a decade up there.
It's hard for me to follow. I can be a good follower provided you're a good leader. But when your leader has you practicing outside in the snow and you have no outdoor games coming up, see, I got a problem with that.
That doesn't make sense.
No.
Detroit Lions.
All right, the games today were Washington, Tennessee, Baltimore, and the Chargers, which may not be over yet, but don't change. All right, tomorrow.
That was the worst backdoor teaser ever.
I know. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Big Cowboys against the Buccaneers.
Where's that at?
You know what? That NFC South that I thought maybe was the best division in football, boy, does that stink.
They have
It's New Orleans and everybody else.
Well,
that division just stinks.
Oh, so you saw that Monday night game.
Yeah, but it's not worse than the East. We're talking about two terrible divisions. Because the
I don't
NFC
know.
East is bad.
The East has a Super Bowl champ in it.
Who's mediocre?
Everybody's mediocre.
No.
Nobody's good. Who is good in the NFL? Nobody's good. Or you just pick New England and Dallas every year.
First of all, I don't pick Dallas any year until they change things up and until Jerry quits. Never mind.
Because you're talking about these quarterbacks, too, that can't win in the playoffs. And quite frankly, most of the high-paid quarterbacks aren't going to be in the playoffs.
I'm talking about quarterbacks I don't trust in the playoffs, and I'm saying I've watched in these big games.
Do you trust Phillip Rivers? He's never won in the playoffs. But do you trust him?
I would trust him over Mahomes. If the Chargers and the,
So you're saying it's going to be the Saints and the Patriots?
I'm saying Saints. It could be Patriots, Steelers, or Chargers out of that
Steelers?
side. I think the Steelers still have a chance. I think they have more than a puncher's chance.
Yeah, well, if they can't beat Oakland, I'm not going to put them in the Super Bowl.
I'm not putting anybody in the Super Bowl.
So we're talking about a Pittsburgh team that could potentially have to make three road trips.
Well, no, if they win the division, it'll only be 2.
But they'll have to win.
That's enough.
All right.
Well, and the Patriots got to do the same thing.
Man, I still take Tom Brady in them because it's basically Tom Brady in them. Whoever is Tom Brady in them, okay? Because it's Tom Brady in them.
But I'm saying at this point in time, with what you've seen, are you taking Mahomes and that Kansas City team over Pittsburgh, Baltimore, the Chargers, or
I would have taken KC before Kareem Hunt.
It's funny because
well,
everybody
got
that you
kicked out of
just
the league.
named, Kansas City's beaten.
well, not the Chargers just beat them.
But they've beaten the Chargers.
And I'm saying in a game that matters in the cold.
And they had to sneak that one out. I mean, I give a lot of kudos to no one's talking about Anthony Lynn and the job he's done, but the Chargers, I give them credit. I give them a lot of credit. But they had to steal that win. You didn't think they were in control of that game.
All right, we got to take another time out. We'll come back. We'll finish up with the NFL, and I got a little college football to talk about. So for our Roundtable show presented by Ralphies, we'll be back.
Bring yourself to Ralphies. Yeah, it's that good.
At Ralphie's, it's primetime football every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights. Enjoy endless wings starting at 8 p.m. each night and carry-out specials every day. Plus special pricing on all Labatt products, plus new craft and IPAs for the fall. As always, beer buckets only $10 Friday and Saturday.
Bring yourself to Ralphies. Yeah, it's that good.
Mortgage Marty here. We hear every day here at Fairway how tight the housing market is, how there's just so few great homes out there. And I want to remind everybody we have a fantastic suite of renovation products. They are basically designed where you can buy a house, borrow extra money over and above the sale price, get contractors lined up, and we pay them after closing. So the work is done after closing. You get to pick who you're going to use, and you can buy that house, fix it up, and create what you want. With as tight as the market is right now, in fact, I have probably a half a dozen customers who are to the point where they're so frustrated they're about to give up. So just think renovation loan.
It's December Decadence as Powerbomb Wrestling is back in action in Toledo on a special Friday event this coming Friday, December the 28th at 7 p.m. at St. Clement's Hall, 2990 Tremainsville. See Unchained Brandon Day, also the Enforcer Andy Shane, Sexy Sean Casey, the Circus of Pain, Malice, and more, all in action. Get your advanced discount tickets at the live event for our next show, which comes up on Sunday, February the 10th. But it's the best wrestlers in the Midwest this Friday night in Toledo at St. Clement's Hall. Welcome back for our Roundtable show presented by Ralphies. Marty Bin, the one and only Steve Taylor this week. All right, I want to wrap up the NFL here. The games that are important tomorrow. All right, Minnesota's still in the hunt, so that makes that Detroit game still important. Cleveland, Cincinnati is important, so Marty will lose a lot of money. Houston, Philadelphia is huge.
That's an elimination game.
For Philadelphia, anyway. Yeah. Well, it's not an elimination for Houston. They got a two-game lead in the division.
Well, for Philly, though, it's an elimination game.
Probably, yeah.
It's a must-win.
Probably.
It's another must-win.
Yeah.
Probably.
Philly's got to win out.
Right. 4 o'clock, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, obviously huge. The Sunday night's KC, Seattle. Seattle, that's a bad loss against San Francisco.
Wasn't that a bad showing? I mean, a bad
loss.
And you can almost see how they overlooked, that San Francisco
You hate to
team.
believe in the NFL with the way things go that somebody could do that. Because college teams, I think you see that easier, but they clearly just paid no attention and went in there and got a wake-up call.
I'm say it all the time. There is not as much difference between these teams as you think there are.
I've watched the Raiders a couple times this year. I can't agree with that.
They beat Pittsburgh.
Right, because San Francisco will never beat Seattle. Philly will never beat the Rams.
That remind me, thanks.
Colts will never beat the Cowboys.
I never said that. Circling the drain. Look, I'm like, thank you for giving me a clean single because I was 0 for tonight before that, and I like slapping that one to right center and trotting down
Oakland will never beat Pittsburgh. So, all right, you enjoying the bowl season?
Unwatchable.
Well, what do you mean unwatchable? I mean, we got 6 Mid-American Conference teams in bowl games.
That has nothing to do with
that
the
in
unwatchable.
itself just makes it stellar football.
That has nothing to do with unwatchable. By the way, I'm going to get yelled at for this. But what is the sponsor of the Bahama Bowl?
I have no idea.
The Wanna Make It Here or something or other?
You're kind of proving my point here.
I had to Google this. It's a town in Illinois who has the largest manufacturing industrial zone in America or something outside Chicago that is sponsoring it to get businesses to locate there. If that's not the ultimate advertising Hail Mary, I don't know what is.
129 FBS schools, 78 are in bowl games. 51 are not.
So is it safe to assume you guys have not filled out your college bowl game sheets?
That'd be the only way I would watch these games.
I was a conscientious objector to filling one of those out because I decided I knew nothing about most of it. I looked at the whole thing and went, yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys a couple of questions here.
Okay.
Okay, Eastern Michigan was in what bowl?
It was a bowl. I don't remember what it was. I picked them to win.
The Camellia. They were in the Camellia.
Yeah, where's it played, by the way?
Mississippi. It's played in Mississippi.
Montgomery, Alabama.
Close enough.
Northern Illinois. It's the Ratmouth Bowl. Boca Raton.
Ain't that something? No. The what bowl?
Ratmouth.
See.
Well,
okay.
What's Boca Raton in Spanish?
Continue on.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, whose stadium do they play in there? What college team's stadium do they play in there?
Boise State.
No, that's the Potato Bowl.
Florida Atlantic.
I've been to the Potato Bowl. I know the answer to that question. Ask questions I know the answer to.
Where's Ohio Bobcats?
They play in Athens, Ohio.
Yeah, but what bowl are they in? The Frisco Bowl. Where's that played?
Yeah. Take a shot at this one.
No, serious. Where's it played? Actually, Frisco, Texas. You
Oh, see, I've only been one state off all
You
day.
would think San Francisco, right? No, it's Frisco, Texas.
They said Frisco, not San Francisco.
Toledo, of course, is in the Bahamas Bowl. We all know that.
Yes, I know where that
is. They played yesterday. And but what was the name of the stadium?
It's a soccer stadium.
I mean, we know it's Nassau in the Bahamas because I don't know another city in the Bahamas.
It's a soccer stadium.
What's the name of the stadium?
I don't think stadiums change all the time. I don't know.
Thomas Robinson Stadium. Western Michigan is the one that's in the Idaho Potato Bowl.
See, there you go.
The Blue Field.
Yeah. What's the name of the stadium?
What? I don't know. I was there.
Albertson Stadium.
Well, that's because the see, that's a trick. It's like trying to name who sponsors what. I mean,
And see, Buffalo's in the prestigious Dollar General Bowl.
Who has the red field?
Now, here's one you might get. What's the name of that stadium?
I don't remember, and I watched it 2 years in a row.
You've been to Mobile.
I understand. I don't remember.
Mobile, Alabama.
Glad People Stadium.
Who, what?
And you're asking me if I watch any of this
He's
garbage?
trying to be different. Here's the thing. I couldn't name you. I mean, what's Indianapolis? Is it still Lucas Oil Stadium?
Some days. No,
I mean, like, what's the Browns now?
They change so much, it's hard to keep in touch with it.
It's the who threw stupid money at nowhere name of the stadium. There, I said it, and my wife works in sponsorships. Honey, I love you, and I'm glad you're not watching.
I think there were more people at the Camellia Bowl, actually, than there was at the Bengals game on Sunday.
Well, that's not saying much.
Are they going to move them to Columbus? They might as well just move them out of Cincinnati.
No.
But you're asking me if I'm watching any of this garbage? Come on.
Look,
And even if I'm in a pool, I'm just checking the
here's
scores.
the thing. I
It's
found
only
myself
6 bowl
almost getting
games
on
that we're
Twitter.
watching.
I found myself almost getting on Twitter this week to promote the fact that Norm and I agree on something. And then you like your handshakes and your phone, you can barely hold it.
Sweaty.
Because they're talking about going to 8, and then I get argued with from. I was getting blown up last night. 8 it dilutes, or 12 dilutes the regular season. I'm like
12 does.
12 dilutes 39
Steve.
bowl games dilutes a regular season.
I mean, I
There's
understand.
been 3 schools that are
12 is
5 and
beautiful.
7 that have
12
gone
with
to
the
8 is
14
perfect.
bye.
You know that?
No, there's no
There's
buys.
been 3
Study
schools.
the Norm Waymer Bowl plan.
There's been 3 schools that have been 5 and 7 that have gone to bowl games.
That's unacceptable.
Oh, okay, but 6 and 6, that's fine.
Well, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, well, at least you're batting 500. I mean, I can't reward you
For batting 500?
Well, for going 5 and 7.
Yeah, but
500 is different.
Yeah, but you got to look at strength. Yeah, but there's 5 and 7 and 6-6. You got to look at strength of schedule. You got to look at RPI.
You know, as much as ESPN's cut back on personnel, it makes me wonder if some of these bowls might actually go by the wayside. You know, there's
None of them even go to the bowl games. They do it from a studio in Bristol now, and they put a backdrop up that makes you look like you're
Are
there.
you serious? They're not even going?
Half the games are not there. Yeah, here's how you can tell. Listen, if you can get on satellite and listen to the radio broadcast, and the radio broadcast on satellite will be 7 or 8 seconds ahead of it. And that's how you know it's going back to the studio so they can comment on it from Bristol because they didn't send crews.
We got to go. Enjoy the bowl games. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Have a happy holidays. Yes. We will not be here next week. We'll be back after the New Year's. We'll see you then on the Roundtable show presented by Ralphies.